Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello. Plan for the day, F1 24, FC 25. We'll start with the Australian Grand Prix. Then we'll move to the player career, where we'll record tomorrow's episode. Then we'll move to the Manchester United career, where we will record tomorrow's episode, which is, of course, episode 1 of season 2. Which I'm very much looking forward to starting. How are we anyway? How's your week so far? I've had a couple of days off. Tuesday, well, I say days off. Tuesday was the day off. Yesterday I did my bloody accounts, but you know, a day off streaming anyway. Morning, lads. All good, thank you, lads. How are we, Jamie, Tommy, Chris? We say thank you to those that have followed since we were last live. That being Ibrahim's Blue Marvel, Otidus, Jacked on Mountain Dew, Renzover, Cat Milk, Mab, Sharma, and WTCC. Nice and warm in bed. The best way to be, Jamie. 100% not jealous, I promise. So yeah, the plan is to do the Australian Grand Prix, and we'll just do the one episode of My Player to record tomorrow's video, and then we will record the second season beginning of Manchester United, which hopefully will go down well. The season finale goes out today. Hopefully that goes down well. Fingers crossed and all that. Fingers crossed and all that. After getting knocked out, basically after the January transfer window, the views have halved, which is typical, but it is what it is. I don't know, I've still got Spotify open, let's close that. So plan for the day is in action, and we might as well just get started, mightn't we? The episode for the previous round of this championship goes live this evening at 6. There'll be obviously a player career mode video go live at the top of the hour, and then at 6 o'clock we'll have everyone, or as many people as possible, hopefully not losing interest in the save, because the Saudi Arabia video is only 20 odd minutes long, not an hour long, because it fucking broke on me. Oh, yeah, that sounds chilly, ads. I've had that before here when we first moved in. The boiler needed replacing. The heating went, the boiler broke. about 5 months into us being in this house. 4 months. I think it was like mid-February or mid-March in 2021. I sat here in my office in a coat. My big full winter coat. Because the boiler had broken and there was no fucking heating. It was chilly, to say the least. Chilly. Right, let's get cracking, shall we? Because we've got a lot to do today. And this is going to take longer than planned because it's fucking wet. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Australian Grand Prix weekend. A weekend where we're probably going to do more swimming in competitive sessions than we are actual driving. As you may remember from the end of the last episode, the race is, we believe, to be fully wet. So that's going to be joyous. We have turned off mechanical faults. Obviously, in the last episode, it didn't go according to plan in Saudi Arabia. And I think in Saudi Arabia last season we got a DNF, did we? Oh no, it was in Bahrain we got the DNF last year. Yeah. Gearbox went in Saudi, so we've turned mechanical faults off again. There's no point. It's just no point. It ruins the content, doesn't it? So, moving forward, we shall finish every single race that we drive. Unless I realistically, or bin it in a wall and we feel like it suits the narrative of the race or whatever. So, dry in practice, I'd much rather it was the other way around. But, intermediary conditions for qualifying, dry and wet. And then the Sunday is just downpour. So, I can't wait for that. We'll go to practice. We'll try and improve the car. We do have resource points available to us. But of course, at present, there is nothing I can upgrade other than the brakes at this stage. And I don't have enough to do that. And I'm apprehensive to do the brakes because of previous issues with brake upgrades. Braking car performance, effectively, in previous versions of the game. I don't know if that's a thing this year. I'll question it on social media and in my live chats when streaming before I put that brake upgrade on, just to ensure that we don't ruin the car. But the brakes do feel great already, so I don't feel like I necessarily need that upgrade. Regardless, Australia is a great circuit. It's a fun circuit, but in the wet, it's going to be more like a boat race. Drop the video a like if you're enjoying the save. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more. We'll have the next episode to you in the next few days as well, trying to keep up with the Formula 1 content alongside the Player Career Mode 2, which hopefully you guys are also enjoying. Do make sure you check that out. But for now, I'm going to jump into practice after I set my specialists up, and hopefully we can actually achieve a decent result this weekend. Isn't going to fucking happen. Ready, steady, fucking go. Had a boiler done a couple of Januaries ago. Not a great time then either. No, exactly.
Albert Park welcomes you. Let's get this show on the road then. It's practice here in Australia.
At least it's fucking dry for practice. If it was an entirely wet weekend, I might want to slip my wrists. Let me just double check my setup. 2 secs.
We're going to be logging some extra data during this session. Nothing you need to worry about, but as we have some new parts on the car, we'll just confirm they're performing to spec.
Okay. Time management. All of this is literally pointless because we're not going to get to do any dry running in the race itself, but we want the resource points, don't we? Regardless.
We need to be sure we can manage the tyres through a lap, so try to keep the
Whoa!
wear down through
Okay,
each
that's a
corner.
good start.
Be especially careful accelerating on corner exit.
Morning, James. How are we, lad? I didn't put the DRS on. Like a fucking idiot.
Program
Yay!
complete.
I'm not surprised,
well
Jack.
done. We got some
Fantastic
excellent
result for
data
Aston
with
Villa
that
last
one,
night.
so come on back to the garage and I can take you through the numbers.
Absolutely stellar. I bet everybody involved at the club is thrilled. We'll be doing Man United later today, James. Man United later today. Player career mode and Man United later this afternoon.
Okay, on this test I want you to focus on managing your ERS. It's really important for our overall race pace, and so a reminder that you've got modes to play with in your MFD. See how they feel for you and see how different modes drain the battery. Nice one. Okay, reminder, a neat way to recharge the batteries by lifting at certain points when you feel you can and by gentle braking. Try those this lap and see how you get on.
Back end, caught the grass. Meep. I haven't seen any of the highlights of the Champions League the past couple of days, but I saw some of the results. PSG are a completely different kettle of fish without Mbappe, aren't they? It's just the nature of it. Oh, Jesus. What was the balance of play like in the Villa-Bayern game? Like, was it a deserved win for Villa, or did they just nick it late on? Not quite. PSG were pretty awful, were they? Round she goes. Thank you, Pierre. I needed that. At least slow down enough to let me through. Jesus Christ. Thank you.
Okay, test complete, and that was
Hooray!
a really good job indeed. We got a lot of valuable information out of
Watkins
that.
was
Well
only kind of ragged, was he? I'm not surprised. Ollie Watkins is in the form of his life the past 18 months or so, isn't he?
Okay, we need a few solid laps here to help us calculate a good race strategy.
Fernando. Both players to their max potential. Came up against the Wickham youth team and they have a striker who was 96. How can you see their ratings? I didn't realise that was possible. TBH. Oh, you could go to match performance. That's intriguing. I might do that in our save and just have a look at some of the other teams' youth players. And she goes. Feeling the pressure having Lando right behind me. Guess what you can do is make a note of those names, Scott, on like a notepad somewhere, and then later in the save, you can refer back to that notepad and see if they got promoted to the first team, and you know that they're going to be world class, so you can go and snap them up. It's almost cheating in that regard, isn't it? It's like seeing a player that you definitely know is going to be world class before they've even kicked a football in professional men's competition. Yeah, I'm not surprised that's... He was a bit of a big boy, wasn't he? Go away, Lando. Just trying to run my practice program. Piss off. There was an update for FC today, wasn't there? I haven't looked at the patch notes yet. Was there anything of note in there, so to speak? My FC updated when I turned my console on, so I presume so.
Program complete and a job well done. We got some excellent data with that run, so come on back to the garage and I can take you through the numbers.
Our button delay. Well, that's half a battle, isn't it, I guess? Pardon me. Tyre wear's about where it should be. That last lap was a bit of an outlier. And then fuel usage is about where it should be. That's fine. Let's do a quali run.
Standing
by. Sorry, Kino, he is gone. We're releasing him. Quite easily. How could you let Harry Maguire go? Very, very easily indeed. Veneer, thank you for the 14th month, mate. Hope you're well, pal. Thank you for the support. All doing well here, thank you, pal. Thanks the same for you. My teammate closing in on me, and a Red Bull, and a Sauber. We'll let the three of them go before we do our quali run. So probably not going to need to let the Sauber go, am I? Here we go! Actually, I should put it in hot lap and then use overtake, shouldn't I? Car feels so good on soft tyres. So good. Car feels incredible on soft tyres. That's probably the most planted lap I've had around the track of Australia for a very, very long time. That felt spot on.
And that's it. Practice is
which is why it's particularly frustrating that it's going to rain all damned race. But we'll wait and see what happens. We'll try and maximise our resource points from going to quick practice, and then we shall hop into qualifying. Yeah, thank you, Ez. It's just in a quick piece to camera. I'll click on it now. Address the following... Oh, I'll put this on. You guys prefer to see this. Sometimes button inputs will not be registered when performing actions in the menus. Controller compatibility on Steam and stability issues happening in all on the modes. Career. Address the instability of issues with stability issues. Oh, is that it? Stability issues. Basically, stop the game crashing. But the button thing is a decent first edition. That would at least make it more manageable in the for the time being. The sliders I use for FC25, Paul, are the simulation sliders you can find in-game. I use the preset that you can find in-game. They're the sliders that we're using at the moment. If and when we change them, I will, of course, let you guys know. Practice programs complete. Maximum amount of resource points acquired. And that will put us well over the threshold for what we need to be able to do that brake upgrade. Oh, I'm still apprehensive about doing that brake upgrade, as I've previously mentioned, so I'll hold off for now. I'm not sure whether the highlight will have made it in. In practice, the car felt great on soft tyres, which is even more of a frustration that we're going to have rain in quali and the race. I'm going to put some fresher parts in the car here because we've been using some older components for practicing lesser important sessions in the previous rounds of the championship. Of course, we won't have any failures now, but that's not to say that we won't run out of durability throughout the course of the season with parts not necessarily performing as well as they could do with wear. So we're still going to have to manage that as we go through. Qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix is on the way.
And a warm welcome, everybody. We're here in the heart of Melbourne. It's Albert Park, and it's qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix.
Well, we start wet then, evidently. No worries, Paul. Thanks for following Abapampo. Welcome to the channel, mate. So let's have a look. Just have a look at that quick weather forecast there to see what the rain is going to do. It's going to be lessening, easing off as we work our way through qualifying, and by the beginning of Q2, I expect us to be on dry tyres, really. Then the race, I presume, is just going to say 86% rain for the entirety of it. The temperature is actually going down by 1 degree on track in the opening 5 minutes or so. Then the air temperature is going down. There's a sunny symbol there, but it still says 86% chance of rain. So that's intriguing. The sun is going to come out, but the track is still going to be wet. I'm not too sure what to make of that then. It might just be a bug that it's showing the sun symbol when there is no sun. Or it might be a bug that it's showing the percentage of rain when there is no rain. As of yet, don't know which way round that is. At present, though, we know that here on the intermediate tyre, it's going to be a difficult lap, to say the least. So I'll go out on one set and do a lap. We know as well that obviously we're going to need these intermediate tyres for the race. So I can't do too many laps on too many sets because I'm going to need them on the Sunday as well. It might be fully wet for the race itself, but we'll call it... Whoa, Jesus. Okay, yep. Going to have to adjust for wet weather running, evidently. And it might be a case of putting some more front wing in. Okay, what I think I might do is restart the session because I've gone through Parc Fermé now and completely change the setup of the car to adapt for the wet. Which is exactly what I'm going to do with the SRC setup. Because I think we're going to need some extra downforce here, gentlemen. Bear with. Adjusted. I've not saved it because obviously I want the dry setup to be the preferable one. But yes, Abba, there will be a new career mode video today on the YouTube channel, and then later on today we will be recording the next episode, tomorrow's episode, on stream here now. Season finale of the Manchester United save on YouTube today. FC career mode videos go out every single weekday. On the grass. See, in wet weather, you always worry about tyre
That's us down
temperatures.
into P16 now.
P8 after one run. Wasn't a great run, but wasn't terrible either. The wear is really high, actually. Yikes! Okay, well, it was P8. We're now P11. Charles is yet to set a lap time. I am going to have to go again and go significantly quicker. You guys know I struggle in the rain, and evidently this is that case again. Doesn't look like it's actually raining out there now, so we might see drivers go out on dry tyres at the end of the session. If we do, I will obviously follow suit. It does say that the soft tyre is going to be significantly quicker now, but Ollie Behrman is out on intermediates here. We'll give it another minute and see if anyone else goes out on something softer. Ollie Behrman's still the only one on track at the moment. It says that it's dry. And people are out on soft tyres. There we go. Ollie Behrman's gone too soon. He's made the wrong decision. We're going out on a dry set of tyres, so I'm going to need to adjust my setup slightly, although, really, I can't. I don't really have the time, so it's a case of who's on track at the right time, getting the best of the conditions, will make it through. Ollie Behrman, I fear, is going out here. Sorry, Ollie.
Pushed down to P17.
Oh, DRS enabled as well. That might screw over a couple. There's a yellow flag in front. I think it's just people going slowly, preparing for their lap. So we will accommodate for that. Some will have missed out on a little bit of DRS on their lap as well, and that could affect where they qualify or how they qualify. Jesus, no fucking grip there whatsoever. There is still minimal grip when you push on the limit, that's for sure. Hello, Thoughtless. Hello, mate.
We've just been pushed down into P18.
Okay, we will go to not very high at all. Am I through? Oh, hello. There's a Mercedes off the track. That's how treacherous it was. But we just about tippy-toed our way through there. That was not a comfortable session whatsoever. I was significantly off the pace. Charles Leclerc did a 121.8. I did a 122.9. And there was 0.04 of a second between myself and Alex Albon. Ollie Ben was actually able to go back in off his intermediate tyres, box, put softs on, and go again and get a lap in. Fair play, Ollie. Congratulations, you got yourself through. Both Williams and both Saubers out, as well as Daniel Ricciardo in the V-Carb. We go to qualifying 2. The RTG will start when the Man United save is finished. Spuds. Not sure on a timeline. Not too long. It's not going to be months. Matter of weeks. Thank you for the follow, Jack. Alright, I'm going to go out and put a practice lap in. A banker lap, because I'm going to need it. Hey, Balls. Morning, Ambrose. How are we, lad? Not sure on what team we're going to use for it yet, no, but we have an idea of some. They're probably going to put it to a vote. Okay, we got grip now. We got grip again. Thing is, we've set up the car for the rain now. Downforce level wise, etc. Just back from school. That's early. 12. Whereabouts are you on the planet, Ambrose? Oh, you're in Hong Kong. That would make sense as to why you're out of school at 12:30 PM UK time. It's cold today in Hong Kong, is it? I'm not. It's just a banker lap, Corey, so it doesn't matter. It's just a banker lap. If you guys had free choice of what League 2 side I did the realistic RTG with, who would you pick? Thank you for the follow, Rails Gaming. Welcome to the channel. Jack, very kind of you to not only follow 2 minutes ago, but then come through with a Prime Gaming sub as well. Thank you, mate. That's very good of you. Newport, Port Vale, Salford. Newport, Gillingham, Salford. Notts County yet. Try and rekindle the County Wrexham. Obviously, there's the whole Salford Man United thing as well. We could utilise. Bradford are a big club at the level as well. I'm alright, thank you, Rails. How are you, my friend? Crawley would be your side, would it, Jack? MK Don's not a chance. Not going to touch that football club with a barge pole.
Okay, engines fired up. We're set.
Good, glad to hear it, man. Swindon have previously been Premier League. Hello. Get off my arse. Oh, we're going slowly out the pit lane, Carlos, just to be prepared. I think it's telling there that no one's mentioned Chesterfield, so that might mean that Chesterfield come off the potential vote. Oh, Cutsy's doing Chesterfield, is he? That is good information to have. Who's DK using this year as well?
Dropped to P15.
Cutsy's doing Chesterfield is good information to have, especially considering so many people have been doing Man United. I don't want to use the same side as everyone else. No, I'm not feeling Bromley. I don't know if Bromley are going to be too much of a draw view-wise. Thank you for the follow, Andrew. DK's doing Bromley, is he? There you go. So Bromley and Chesterfield off the list. I think I'll probably put Bradford, County, Salford. Thank you for the resub, Matty. Very, very good of you, mate. For the 14th month. I know, Freddie Fofana not in the game is a terrible shame, isn't it? I think Bradford, Notts County and Salford are going to be 3 definites on the vote. And then if there's a 4th, I'm not sure who the 4th would be. Maybe Wimbledon. Although no one mentioned Wimbledon there.
And that's just 30 seconds left in the session.
Thank you for the sub. I'll read that in a moment. Middle of a quali lap. The Loon, thank you very much indeed for the 5th month, mate. Appreciate it, pal.
Right, that's us pushed down into P15.
Jesus, Lando in the 14s is astronomically quick.
2 minutes remaining in the session. We need a good lap
14s
here,
is
or we're out of
just
qualifying.
lightning fast. I'm not anywhere near that. Not even close to a 14. Wow. 13th we qualify for the Australian Grand Prix. That's outrageous. A 1 minute 14 something is just unmatchable for me, really, I think. That's... Charles did it as well. I'm 1.2 seconds off the pace there. quite frankly, I wasn't really anywhere near even Lewis in 12th, but Lewis is out. So the other RB of Yuki eliminated. One of the Mercedes in the shape of Lewis Hamilton is out, and both Alpines behind me as well. Both Red Bulls, both McLarens, both Haas, both Aston Martin, and one Mercedes and one Ferrari will head on into Q3 to battle it out for pole. But for us, our day is done, and now it's time to put the armbands on and go swimming for the race. Yeah, thank you, Loon, for the follow. If I agree to cosplay it as a Womble from Wimbledon, then we have a winner. I might be a bit warm for that. Do you mean this career, Corey? Or in general F1 content? Yeah, it says rain for the whole race, so... Yeah, I've got to think views, though. I don't know whether Carlisle or Cheltenham have a decent enough following to... If you think episode 1 and what people are going to be searching for, I think it's probably going to be 3 or 4 times the amount of people searching for a Notts County career mode or a Bradford career mode than there are Carlisle or Cheltenham. The plan is to do a My Team on F124, yes. On PC with mods is the current plan. How well that plan comes to fruition, I don't know. Depends how well the FM content does. If the FM content does really well, then it would make sense to prioritise that. But we'll wait and see what happens.
This circuit missed a few years off the F1 calendar, and we missed Albert Park. So welcome back, and it's great to be back in Melbourne. Welcome to the Australian Grand Prix. It's time to see how our drivers.
And it would have been dry, of course, for the third round of qualifying, as Charles Leclerc, with a 14.5, is 0.3 faster than Max Verstappen. He did a 14.4 in Q2, so track conditions slowed from second qualifying to third qualifying. Lando was 3.5 tenths off Charles Leclerc in that third qualifying session. Sainz and Stroll in 7th and 8th. Behrman and Russell. So we will start where we qualified, which is 13th. And it's going to be a difficult race in the rain around Australia. But I'm hoping that we can get a decent start, a decent run, and still a decent finish, despite the fact that it's going to be particularly challenging conditions throughout the course of this Grand Prix. I wonder whether I was so far off the pace in qualifying because I changed my setup to suit for a wet race. And I'm concerned that the AI have or set themselves for a dry quali and for some reason have not followed Parc Fermé rules and will now be set up for the wet in the race. I presume the AI follow Parc Fermé rules and not just the user, but I guess we'll wait and see. It reckons that a 2-stop is the preferred rather than a 1-stop, and to be honest, I'd probably agree there as well, especially with how slippy it's going to get, and the Inters did wear quite quickly in qualifying, so a 2-stop is probably what we're going to do. It recommends 5.3 laps worth of extra fuel. We'll put just 5 laps worth of extra fuel in, but we're probably going to need it. It says it's going to rain all race, so it's probably going to be intermediates from start to finish. It's time to go swimming for the Australian Grand Prix. Hodak, thank you very much for the follow, mate. Welcome to the channel, pal. Let's give you guys a prediction, shall we? Start a prediction. Basically, I'm starting 13th. I'm going to say, will I get as high as 8th or not? Because it's going to be difficult here in the rain. I'm not anticipating flying through the field. Yeah, I'd love to. I obviously want to keep making Formula One content, but I have to follow the views. Right, I'm going to leave you guys with a quick break whilst I go to the toilet and prep for the race. You guys can have your prediction, and I'll be back in 2 minutes when we'll go vroom, 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 BRB, or swim, swim, swim. Which way have you voted? It's ongoing still, of course, the prediction. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Not much commitment either way so far. Intriguing. Obviously, with it being the first, I think maybe even the only entirely wet Grand Prix we've had in the save so far. I understand the apprehension. Lund Green, thank you very much for the follow, mate. Welcome to the channel. Right, let's go for our formation lap. This is probably going to be a nightmare of a race.
Okay, so our system checks are good. We need to stay in formation and start bringing the car up to temperature, please. Get some load into the tyres and work the brakes. We want them nice and warm by the end of this lap.
You can't download the player career tracker. Which I did update the link recently, Railed. If you check if I go exclamation mark spreadsheet, try that new link because the previous one didn't work anymore. I win, Edge. I did it first.
We'll be seeing at least 20 minutes of light rain.
Light rain here to stay. Tyres actually aren't that bad. They're not great, but they're not bad. I'd rather they were slightly colder because I've no idea how hot they might get with the extra downforce I put on the car. Junior Sublime, thank you for gifting a sub to the channel, mate. That's very kind of you. Papa Kenzie, Finn, you're back in the gang. Thank you, Junior. Particularly generous of you. Here we go, parking up in the wet.
Okay, incredible parking.
We're on the outside of the track, which is the better place to be for turn one, so as to not get pinched on the inside, but I'm nervous about wheel spin. I'm basically apprehensive about the whole of this Grand Prix, really. It's not a bad start. Off the line, held up position. No one's going to brake early here. Anticipating some getting pinched on the apex of turn one. None really did, but very slow on the accelerator there, Lewis Hamilton. We will put our foot down. We'll keep position. We stay P13 for now. That was heart in mouth. Slamming the anchors on and got it stopped. We could tumble in this Grand Prix, or we could rocket to the front, or near the front. I've set up for wet weather running with the setup of the car, with in terms of downforce levels and suspension, etc. I don't know whether others have done the same. We're set up for the rain. They might be set up for the dry, or at least in between the wet and dry. Yuki was well offline there,
That start was okay.
as am I.
Stay alert for threats around you.
So, too much concentration on Yuki there, and screwed myself as it actually happens. Down to 15th with Alex Albon. Last time we raced in Australia in the rain, we were in a bit of a battle with Alex Albon. Might try and slip up the inside of him here, which we have been able to do. Can we hold it around the outside the final turn? The answer is yes. And now we use all of our battery to try and close up on the group in front. Ultimately, only one position lost from the mistake. Need to make sure that there are significantly less of those moving forward. But hopefully there's performance in the car to get points today. I'm going to be more of a Sergio Perez this week than I am a genuine quality teammate to Charles Leclerc. But I'm hoping, as the race goes on, we will be able to maximise any potential outcome from this Grand Prix. Tyre temperature so far is fine. neither of those download links work. They were set to not expire, so they shouldn't have. They should still work. Let me have a look. It says, something went wrong. To be fair, I tried uploading something yesterday and WeTransfer didn't work that well. It might be WeTransfer's end, if I'm completely honest. It might be their end, not an issue with the file. Because I did upload some of my accounts yesterday to WeTransfer to send to my accountant, and it failed a couple of times doing that as well. So the fact that you guys are also having some issues with WeTransfer says to me that it's their end, not my end. So bear with in the short term. Hopefully they sort their servers out, and then I might have to re-upload, but if I do, then I'll let you know.
Caution.
Yellow flags in front. Not sure what for. Probably just a concertina effect of cars getting too close to one another. Someone might have some damage here as well. We're closing back in onto the back of Pierre Gasly. Fernando Alonso is out. Oh, there you go. In the pit lane as well. Fernando Alonso retiring in the pit lane with an exploded engine.
Okay, clear.
Sorry, Fernando. You're gone, pal. That's his race over. That's something that won't happen to us now for the content because, well, you guys want to see full Grand Prix as often as possible rather than just 10 laps like we saw in Saudi Arabia. Keeping hold of this group in front that are currently tucked up behind a Haas.
No issues with tyre wear for now.
Don't know if anyone's got any damage in front, which might be why some are running slowly. That was a little bit wide of me there, but we get away with it. We'll try and reel back in on those in front. I'm going to have to do a lot of concentrating and less talking here today, though, I think, because this is going to be a very, very, very difficult race weekend. Thank you, Railed, for the Prime Gaming sub on Twitch, so appreciate that. Try and channel it into a good driving performance.
Watch out for understeer in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as quickly as you can. Push, push. That's Gasly ahead. Okay, gap to the car ahead. They're on a fresh set of inters. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining.
Yeah.
Your last lap time, 1 minute 30.0. 1.9 seconds.
Temps are still fine. They're definitely set up with less downforce than I am. I'm pretty certain of that in a minute.
And we're still happy that we're on the right tyres at the moment.
Appreciate it, Connor. Thank you, mate.
Right, we need to get past here. Use overtake, use overtake.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it, Connor. It's not without its flaws, obviously, but it's not bad. Hello, Pierre. Je suis arrivé, monsieur. We've closed the gap in front. We've extended the gap behind. It's time to think about making some overtakes and trying to improve our current race position as we end lap 6 of 58. Charles Leclerc and presumably Max Verstappen in the Red Bull have disappeared down the road. There goes that gap to Pierre Gasly. Je suis non arrivé. And then basically this group in front are tucked up behind Ollie Behrman, and then there's a group in front of them that are tucked up behind one of the Hasses. But no one's really getting away other than those two out front at the minute. So it's all still very much there for the taking, but you can quite clearly see, I don't know why I've got 16% wear on my rear left tyre, that's frustrating. Must have caught a wall somewhere without realising it. At present, we're very much in the hunt still for good points today. I'm going to pit early off this set, I think. Try and give myself the best possible chance of... okay, that extra wear on that one rear tyre is now really affecting the handling of the car, which is not ideal. I don't even remember clipping a wall anywhere with my rear tyre. The gaps had closed. The gap has grown again, probably because I'm too busy talking and not concentrating on my driving. So if you don't mind, I'm going back into shut up and drive mode, and I want to get right back up behind Pierre Gasly, and I shall come back to you not just when I'm next to him, but when I'm passing him. Hey Club, how are you, mate? Thank you for the follow, pal. What the fuck? Off work 6 today, which means you get to watch United's performance tonight, Rip. Need to get to watch some tears. Feel better soon, mate. Losing 4/10 through the final corner alone because of that wear on that left rear tyre. Not ideal. I'm number 28, I think. Pretty sure it's my car number. Hey Dunder, how are you, lad? Temps is still absolutely fine.
Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 1.8 seconds.
Well, Charles Leclerc up front just did a 28.4 fastest lap of the race. I've just done a 28.8, which is my personal best lap of the race. So we're not actually that far off the pace of the front drivers. Charles is not galloping away with this the same way he did in the last couple of races, particularly Bahrain. And Max is keeping Charles relatively honest as well, with some good pace of his own. So Max Verstappen in with a shout of a victory here today. Hopefully we can get ourselves back up through the fields. An undercut here and there on each stop would certainly help. It would mean at some point one of the sets of intermediate tyres are going to have to go further than the others. Even if I just undercut by one lap, it's going to make a difference. So that's what we'll look to do. We've caught back up to Pierre, and hopefully it won't be too long before I'm actually past him this time, but I'm going to shut up and concentrate and make sure that I actually get past him. Thank you very much. Good. Hopefully you're enjoying the content so far. We've very nearly gotten further than we did in Saudi Arabia already, and plenty of race yet to come. Just been playing the Game of Thrones mod for CK3 when they released dragons. Nice. What's CK3? My brain isn't registering the acronym. Crusader Kings. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have got that. Is that what Zealand plays sometimes? Crusader Kings. Or am I wrong there? I know Z plays something like that occasionally. It is Crusader Kings, I thought so. Oh, you learned the game from watching his streams, fair enough.
Okay, mate, let's try and climb up the order if we can. We're setting you a new target. Push, push.
As long as temps are okay, I'm happy. Temps is always the main concern in a wet race, really. And temps are absolutely fine at the minute. Yellow flag's behind. It's an RB going slowly, indeed it is. An RB is retiring, and that will be Daniel Ricciardo, because Yuki Tsunoda is in front of us at the moment. That's 2 retirements already in just 9.5 laps. Very nearly in a position to start attacking Pierre Gasly now. Hopefully that'll happen in the not too distant future. We're definitely safe behind.
18.4 seconds.
Charles Leclerc has a pit stop in hand on us, so we've got no concerns about double stacking. I could stop on the same lap as Charles and have no problems whatsoever in losing any time in the pits, because both cars are in at the same time. They could get Charles in and out before I arrive in the box, which is one benefit of being this far back, I suppose.
The track's drying, but it's going to take a while to clear the standing water offline. Don't start thinking about slicks just yet.
Okay, so that might be tied to what we saw earlier on with the weather prediction, where it said that there was some sunshine. It might be that the rain continues to fall, but the track dries, and we are actually on slick tyres towards the end of the race, even though there is still a little bit of precipitation. It could get a little bit intriguing before the end of this Grand Prix with regards to tyre decisions. We shall wait and see how that develops as the laps go by. At the moment, perfectly happy with how things are right now. Obviously, we'd love to be further up, but managing things as best we can. An undercut will certainly help, and we will look to utilise that undercut in about 7 laps' time on lap 18 rather than boxing on lap 19 like we expect everyone else to do. I'm anticipating everybody being on the 2 stop, and as a result, 2 undercuts should benefit us very nicely indeed. Then we just have to get our elbows out at the end of the race to try and hold on to whatever position we have at that time. I bet a game mod of Game of Thrones really suits something like Crusader Kings. How are we, Tom? I'm sure I'd enjoy the Game of Thrones mod. Absolutely. What do I think about Ricciardo's career? Unfulfilled potential, ending in an unceremonious exit through no fault of his own. Pay attention, Chaz. Could have a go at Pierre here. Could have a lunge up the inside, potentially. Is he going to go defensive? The answer is no. I am going to go for it. I'm not going to hang about here. I want to make moves.
That look easy. Nice work. That's why I love working with you.
I definitely forced him significantly wide there. It was a very rude overtake. But in the terms of our race, it was a very necessary overtake. I'm sorry, Pierre, for forcing you wide there, but I went for it. I wasn't holding back. I need to try and close in on those in front if we're to make an undercut work later in the race. Lap 13 has begun.
Use your overtake button more. It's time to utilise some of this energy. Come on.
We anticipate a full soggy race, Tom. But it might not be. Okay, tyres are starting to give out a bit.
I don't think the line is really dry enough yet to start thinking about slicks. Let's hold on to the inters for a little while longer.
I'll be very surprised if anyone goes to slicks. Very surprised indeed.
So this rain could be with us for a while. Light rain conditions for the foreseeable future.
That's heart in mouth. We get away with it. AJ, thank you for the 44th month and 8th in a row, my dude. He's winning the championship this year. Press X to doubt. Afternoon, Huzzy. How are we, lad? I know. I thought that as well. 44th month, 8th in a row. Oh, the irony of that. Written in the stars, 1,000 miles away.
Tyre condition still looking good.
Delightful. Oh, lovely. That's what we love to hear, Huzzy. Right, we've dispatched Gasly. We've now caught up to the next group of 3, which is 2 Mercedes stuck behind Yuki Tsunoda at the moment. Then there's Ollie Behrman a little bit further down the road. I think Yuki must have some sort of front wing damage because he's slow around these fast flowing corners. The rest of the field in front of Yuki is starting to pull away still, but I feel like our pace is probably good enough to be able to keep with them, at least in a close enough distance that if something happens, we have the opportunity to take advantage of it. I will be boxing in 2 laps time on lap 18. So hopefully get past these 3 if I haven't already in the meantime, and then close in on the McLarens and the Hasses that are down the road. That's the current plan. Points are right in front of us. And we would very much like more than just 1 today, please.
Right, we need to get past here. Use overtake. Use overtake.
Using overtake. They've got a better top speed than me, but with battery I am competitive. What's the fastest middle sector of the race so far? They're really slow around here. So I'm probably going to try and do to George what I did to Pierre. Only this time use a bit more battery to do it. And attack from a bit closer in. That's going to be P11 for us. Exactly the same overtake that we got done on Gasly. And there's less of a gap to try and close down in front because Lewis Hamilton and Yuki Tsunoda are right there. Pitting next lap. Oh, that was slow. Pitting next lap for a fresh set of intermediate tyres. The rain is still coming down. I've got no concerns at the minute of us needing to change compound to go to slick tyres. It's just going to be far too wet. Even if the rain stops in the minute, the track isn't going to dry up. So back to concentration mode, back to getting ourselves close enough to make a difference with an undercut. We're going to box this lap.
Confirmed, we'll receive you at the end of this lap.
And let's get ourselves right up behind Yuki and Lewis now. And we're going to dip in. We are boxing for another set of intermediate tyres. Going to be the first car into the pits. Trying to undercut as many as possible. At the very least, those two. And hopefully, this is the right decision. I don't anticipate it drying up enough for slick tyres before everybody else comes in for their first stop. Everyone else should be putting inters on this next lap or lap 20. So it's game on now.
You only have to stop once now. One stop left.
We need to come out in front of these two for clean air, and we have done exactly that. Brand new tyres, albeit slightly cold at the moment. They will not take long to warm up. They are warm, and off we go. Operation take as many places in the next few laps as possible is underway. Some in, some staying out. Charles is staying out for now. He's going long. Charles might be on a one stop, as might that other Haas be. Alternatively, that Haas might just be boxing a lap after his teammate. Now we find out if just one lap's worth of undercut is enough to get past Yuki and Lewis and or more. And the answer is going to be yes. We've gotten Lewis, and as we have the speed and fresh tyres, we're going to get Yuki as well. That's us effectively running now in net P9. Time to try and get after Perez and Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg is going to box next lap, I think. I don't believe he was running in front of us.
Okay, looks like some of those puddles are clearing. We're still definitely on the right tyre for the time being.
I agree.
Not a million miles away from slick conditions.
Not a million miles away from slick conditions, but I don't know if slick conditions will actually ever join us. The track is definitely not in a position where slick tyres would be anywhere near as fast as Inter's at the moment. And Charlie's in the box on lap 20, so he's definitely two-stopping as well. Just went a little bit longer. Some more in the pits here.
The Ferrari driver's in the pits.
We're just coming out right behind, so he's at the fastest lap of the race. Wow. Coming out right behind Ollie Behrman. And hopefully might sweep round him here if I can just get the drive out of turn 2. Not quite, but Ollie Behrman was 2 or 3 seconds down the road when we came into the box. And now we're right behind him. And we have another opportunity to undercut in a few laps' time. So hopefully we will be able to get that done. And more so before the end of the race. Still waiting for the other Mercedes of George Russell to box. As he, actually might be Lewis. He's currently running P2 with a Red Bull right behind him and Max Verstappen. Intriguing if the Mercedes is on a one stop. As we say, running a net P9 when that Mercedes does eventually box. We've got a great run on Ollie here. We might be running a net P8 soon. This has been our favourite overtaking spot so far in this race, but Ollie goes defensive. He's learned the lesson that others didn't and holds me at bay here. Ollie Behrman with some good defensive driving there. Can't allow it to cost us too much time to Stroll and Co in front though. Need to get past, need to make some more time, need to get some more positions. Lando Norris takes the fastest lap of the race here. Royko, thank you for the follow, mate. And I'm afraid I don't speak what I believe is Greek there for that username, but thank you for the subscription on YouTube, my friend. I wouldn't say the AI are OP in the rain. They are very strong, though.
Don't need to worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
Had I not adjusted my setup for wet weather running, then maybe they would have been. But evidently here, we made a big change to our setup to adjust for wet weather running, and it is working in our favour at the minute.
Okay, so all of our tyre pressure data
Oh,
is
what a
currently
surprise.
reading 0. Assuming they still look inflated to you, we're going to guess that it's just a bad sensor. Shouldn't be anything to worry about. Let's use Overtake and burn off some of this energy.
Anticipating Berman being slow through the next left-right. And having a run on him, which indeed we do. Oh god, he's really slow. Now if he goes defensive this time, I'm just going to swoop around the outside. He is going defensive. But he didn't leave a car's width on the left-hand side of the track, that's for sure. A little bit of contact there with the Red Bull. Tried to swoop around the outside, and he just positioned himself so much so that there wasn't enough room for me to do so. I fully committed to going around the outside of him there, and he just stayed in the way. As is his entitlement to do, unless I'm alongside him, he doesn't have to leave a car's width, and I wasn't alongside him. I was just going for a gap that he didn't quite leave open. Losing time to Stroll and Co in front as a result of getting stuck behind Ollie at the minute. But hopefully once we do get past the Red Bull, those gaps in front will start to come down again, and we can get ourselves slightly closer to the front.
Ahead of you. We can't let them hold us up for too long, so let's try and get past as soon as possible and crack on. Push, push.
What is currently really working in our favour, and we're very thankful to that Mercedes for it, is that they're doing a one-stop, their tyres are really worn, their lap times are really slow, and at the minute, those in front can't get past him. Charles Leclerc is racing away to a very comfortable, easy Bahrain-esque victory here, and everyone else is stuck behind that Mercedes, meaning that we're all now closing up on them, and P2 could be a genuine possibility for us here today. I'm going to try and get myself around the outside of Ollie before he goes defensive here, but again, he's not quite left a full car's width. I've gotten on the grass, but we managed to keep it under control, and still can't get past the Red Bull. Oh, frustrating this. Royko. Oh, I said that already. Thank you, Royko. Oh, good. Thank you, Tonga. Good to hear that you're well as well.
dropping a few tenths per lap to the car ahead. They're just edging away. Okay, be aware the car behind is catching you by 5 tenths a lap. 5 tenths.
It's only because I made a mistake. It's fine. Don't panic.
Light rain will stay with us for at least 20 minutes, maybe more. Light rain is here to stay.
Yeah, see, it's just not. It's not going to dry enough for slick tyres at all. Always, Capitano, always. We love it. Not necessarily 100% race distance in the entire pouring rain, mind you, but in general, we love 100% race distance stuff. We can see that train in front now. They're still stuck behind the Mercedes. They just can't get past in these wet conditions. Which Mercedes is it? It's Lewis Hamilton at the minute, who is bringing a potential podium maybe towards us, or at least the chance of. Slim hopes, but a slim hope is still a hope. Especially if we undercut at a very opportune moment.
But I think the right call is to stick with what we've got for now.
Yeah, I agree that the intermediates are still very much the tyre of choice here and probably will be for the whole race. Now, I'd be intrigued to know when Lewis is going to go in. It might be very soon because we're getting close to half race distance here. He might well box on about lap 28 or 9. So he's not long for coming in, but hopefully he stays out long enough that we're just able to catch that group. And then everyone up to and including second place is only a few seconds down the road from us. Hello, Ollie. I'm back again. I'm going to go for it.
Okay, nice work. Really good job with that target, mate.
Clouted off the curb, but I left him enough room this time, which I didn't necessarily do the last couple of overtakes I made at that position. That's P9, a net P8 still, because, well, is it a net P8? I guess not, because Lewis has one stop left, so do we. So, a net P9 is where we are right now then. But you'll notice Max Verstappen has just made it past Lewis Hamilton, so they are starting to squeeze past that Mercedes now. So P2 will get away from us here, but hopefully we can catch up before anyone else gets past. The podium dream still lives for the time being. And I'm going to be much more aggressive in the overtake than they are, that's for sure. Don't know why the AI are nowhere near as aggressive as they should be, or as competent in overtaking as they should be this year compared to previous, but you can only drive against what's in front of you. What's in front of us right now is a group of cars that are very much overtakeable. That's a Haas past Lewis now as well. They're starting to see the Mercedes off.
Okay, no issues.
He might well
Tyre
box
wear
this
for
lap,
now.
to be fair.
Keep taking care of them.
This lap or next lap. Oh my god, they're so slow. I didn't anticipate that. Feel free to cut there, Chris, and I'll leave it a moment before coming back to another highlight. I.e. before the contact. Lewis stays up for another lap. This is probably the last lap of his stint.
Right, we need to get past here. Use overtake. Use overtake.
Gonna try and get past. As soon as Lewis is in, this whole group are gonna rocket in terms of their race pace. It's just a question of whether we can keep up or not, as to whether we stand a chance of getting any more positions today. We're boxing in not that long amount of time. We're going to come in about lap 37.
Pace. You're catching the car in front by about a
So
second
we're
a lap.
definitely over halfway through our current stint. Hey. Steady on. Judging by the way the Haas and the Red Bull have disappeared down the road in front of this group now, I don't know as we've got the pace to go for a podium here. McLaren tried to make a move on Lewis there and failed miserably. Just closed everybody up. And we'll just follow the leadering at the minute. Lewis, I'm sure, will box this lap. Pretty positive, in fact. At bang on half race distance. Oh my lord. Here we go. Lewis is in, as predicted. Now it's game on. But I fear that I am not fast enough to keep up with those. There is now our P8. An undercut in 7 laps time or so will hopefully get us a position or two, but only if I'm able to stick with the group in front. And I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do that. Not in these conditions anyway. In the dry, yes. In the wet, no. Fucking hell. The other Ferrari is first, meow. "100% is really long, you're right. But I live for it. Now is concentration time again. Surely every 50% race is just a one stop though, and there's no variation in strategy, meow. Damp getting drier, Jin, but probably never dry.
Behind is dropping back by about 0.3 a lap. Well done.
I know the tyre life is tailored to the race distance, but still, almost every 50% race I've ever done has just been a medium hard, one stop.
Light rain will stay with us for at least 20 minutes.
Afternoon,
maybe
TT.
more. Light rain is here to stay. Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 1.6 seconds.
Leclerc's only so far ahead because a Mercedes 1 stopped. Verstappen was within 3 or 4 seconds of him for most of the first stint. No, that's fine, TT. I understood why you asked the question.
We've got a lot of spare energy. Okay to use your overtake button.
I know, I'm using it. Leave me alone.
It's still not a perfect situation, but I don't think we've got cause to move on to a different tyre yet. tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving.
So we caught right up to Stroll, Piastri and Perez. We're pitting in 3 laps time. 35, 36, 37. We'll probably box at the end of 37, maybe 38. Depending on the scenario around us.
The car ahead.
And then hopefully an undercut again. And then we really will have to get the elbows out at the end of the race. But if the elbows are out for a potential top 5 from a P13 start, then we're very, very happy indeed. Obviously, we've been assisted by Lewis Hamilton's long first stint. But we were due some luck in this 3rd season so far, and I think we might have gotten it so far. We just need to ride that luck all the way to a decent finish now, which hopefully we will be able to do. I'm going to try and get Lance Stroll here as well, I think. Is he going to go right? Is he going to go left? It's going to go neither. It's going to hold the line, so I will swoop up the inside and have the position, sir, if you don't mind, please. Back out of it, Lance. Good boy. That's P7. P5 and 6 right in front of us. Pitting in 2 or 3 laps time. Enjoyed that one. That was a good move. Good hard racing. I wonder if we can get a replay of that. Have I gone too far? I've gone too far. Oof. No, Meow. I don't think so. No worries, Capitano. Thank you for joining us, mate. Enjoy the rest of your day, pal. I don't think so. Whoever is Stroll's teammate will always stand a better chance of winning the World Championship than Lance Stroll does. That's not to say that Stroll isn't a good driver, because he is a decent driver. He's certainly better than some others we've seen on the grid in recent years. But it's also not to say that there aren't people that are quicker than him.
Okay, some information on Norris. Okay, they're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
That is excellent news. Lando Norris currently running P4 at the moment. But if he's got an issue, then hopefully it's a long-term one, not just a couple of lap one. And fingers crossed, we'll be able to get Lando, and that'll be another position for us. Boxing this lap or next lap. Haven't yet decided. Oh yeah, Stroll's attitude stinks. I don't think anybody denies that. Stroll is a midfield driver at best, but being a midfield driver is still fast enough to warrant a spot in the sport. Lando's got a problem, and we are rapidly approaching him. I might box this lap, hoping that the two in front of me get stuck behind Lando, and as a result can't get past him and lose even more time. A la Lewis Hamilton earlier on. Lewis obviously didn't have a problem, he was just on very old tyres, but this lap they're going to catch Lando, and they're going to get stuck behind him. So I'm in now to make the most of that. Boxing for the second and final time, we anticipate anyway. Unless it really does dry up, but like we say, we think it's going to rain for the full race. Not really going to get out in front of that group of 3, unfortunately, that are coming now, Albon, Hulkenberg, Hamilton, but we should be able to get out in front of the Sauber. As long as I've got some free air here, we'll be able to pump in the lap times. Can't afford to get held up. Need to be able to make the most of the newer fresh tyre, which we will look to do now. Gonna have to overtake Lewis on track, but we will have a tyre advantage on him of a significant few laps and should be able to get that move done. What would have been ideal would be to come out in front of this trio, but I don't think I would ever have been in that position, unfortunately. Still aiming for a top 5 though here. Ribble's in, Verstappen is in. They're boxing 38, which is earlier than I thought they would. I thought they'd be 39 or 40. Albon's in as well, which is good news. That's one less car to try and get past. I was kind of hoping Hulkenberg would be in this lap as well, but he's not. Can we get past the Haas and the McLaren? No is the answer. Oh my god, there might be chaos here though. It is Lando there though, so Piastri we should be hopefully be able to get past, although it will be unleashed this lap. This is now mental. 5 cars in a row, all going for position. We'll try and get the inside Lewis Hamilton here, which we've been able to do. That's 1. I can't afford to lose too much time. Charles is in the box now. Nico is very slow. Really need to get past Hulkenberg.
So let's try and be as consistent as possible with it, please. Here's some information on Russell for you. They've got an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
George going slowly too, although George was behind us anyway. I'm going to try and get Hulkenberg here if I can. Oh, he just fucking braked. I won't take the position here. Hulkenberg slow through the S, as you would imagine. And through on Hulkenberg. Lando seen off by Sergio Perez now. Wonder whether Lando's still got an issue or not. Well, I might ask about him in a moment. There are more in the box. Behrman, Piastri and co. Just going to ask about Lando and they should tell me now. There's the other McLaren. There's Lance Stroll. He does have... contact between the 2 McLarens. He does still have an issue, Lando Norris. And he very nearly gave his teammate a hell of an issue as well, because he clouted into him there as Piastri came out of the pits. Perez is going to disappear down the road now unless we can see off both McLarens very quickly. A top 5 is still a possibility for us here.
Remember to adjust your ERS mode in your MFD if you need to.
Need to get through Lando. Need to get through Lando. All sorts of chaos as they come out of the pits. He's right on the racing line. It was he just didn't adjust for the difference in speed between the two of them well enough there.
I think the line is really dry enough yet to start thinking about slicks. Let's hold on to the inters for a little while.
I'm holding. It's not going to be slick weather running at all, I don't think. Norris is slow. Piastri's going for it. Piastri can't get it done. This is going to be chaotic now. If it isn't already, and hasn't been already. With a train starting to form behind us, I have a very keen Lance Stroll, I have a very keen Lewis Hamilton.
Tyre condition still looking good.
Perez is disappearing. Got to get past the two McLarens, but in a minute, I had a poor exit. Lance isn't going to go for it though. Hey, we've just had a message from Nat. Just make sure it's okay. I'm just going to go to the toilet quickly before they get home because I'm going to need to be quiet when they do because Judah's asleep. BRB. a military mission. Just had to creep Jude in the pushchair asleep around the house somewhere that's going to be as quiet as possible. I was trying not to wake him up. Oi, oi, oi. How are we, Daniel? Well, I hope, mate.
We'll be seeing at least 20 minutes of light rain. Battery charge is high. Let's use that overtake button a bit more.
I'm gonna. Lando's gonna be slow, but Piastri's probably not gonna be brave enough to make a move through here. If he is, he's really brave. He's not. He's tucked in behind again. Do I? Oh God, this could be calamitous. I'm going to try and take one McLaren here if I can. Slight contact.
Okay, be careful with the front wing. You've taken some minor damage.
That was my bit of front wing that just fell off and tumbled along the ground in front of us. That is not going to help the car. Whee! Okay. Let's try that again. Ah, balls. I'm going to have lost that bit of front wing regardless now, aren't I? Shit. Get a thumbnail at least then. Oh dear. We will be without a part of our front wing for the remainder of the race, unless there's another pit stop for whatever reason, which I don't anticipate there will be. So I'm going to be struggling.
Okay, take it easy on the car. We can't sustain this level of damage.
Yeah, I know. Question is, what is faster? Lando with his mechanical issue, or me with my now aero issue? We were on for a potential of a top 5. Now, with the damage, I don't know what we might be able to muster. Elbows are going to have to be out anyway at the end of the race. Hopefully we can deal with the damage and it won't affect our pace too much. Doesn't appear to be to this point, but obviously as the race goes on, the damage will have more and more of an effect. Lando and Piastri at it again here. It's just so tough to figure out what to do here. That might help. Oh, Jesus Christ, Lando! Lando swung right across to take the racing line, and I was there. That is, however, somehow, us past Piastri. Not that he's really giving it up without too much of a fight, but we do get the position. That was actually pretty good. Lando came right back across the racing line, though. Unfortunately, gone too far to be able to show you it again. Lando flew across to the left, and I had a bit of an internal panic then.
The car in front, but we need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop.
But we got the move done around the outside of Piastri as they both moved to the right-hand side. Norris went defensive, Piastri went extra aggressive, which just allowed me to take the racing line and go all the way around the outside of Piastri, who was compromised on the apex. Now we have just the wounded Lando to get past, but
No need to worry about the tyre
we are
conditions
wounded
now.
ourselves.
Everything's looking good.
And because of that front wing damage, we will be slower in the corners. We will be having increased tyre wear as a result as well. We will not catch Sergio Perez in P4, that's for sure. But if I can see off Lando without opening up the opportunity for Piastri or Behrman to get through, or Stroll,
Okay, looks
or
like
Hamilton,
some of those puddles are clearing. We're still definitely on the right tyre for
then
the time
maybe
being, but we're probably not a million miles away
we
from
can
slick
still get
conditions.
the P5 that we feel is available for us here. I need to get past Lando, and I need to keep everyone else behind Lando so that he can continue to hold them up and I can pull away a little bit, because when they do get past, it's going to be a real challenge to try and keep them behind, and there is still a long way to go in this race. 15 laps as we cross the line. Still plenty of Grand Prix yet to come. I've got a real run on Lando here. Let's get out the throttle though. I'm going to go for the inside line. Get the move done, which we have. Oh, then we rewind. Oh, they're 3 abreast behind. Oh, God. Stroll and Piastri are both through on Lando. I'm through, but so are they. It was not what I wanted to happen. I wanted to get through and they didn't, but we put Lando so far offline that he was then compromised for the next part of track as well. And Piastri and Stroll got through as well as myself. Now we have a real challenge on our hands, keeping Stroll and Piastri behind for 14 laps. And now my rear left is getting hot. I wonder whether we might be on slick tyres by the end. If my tyre is hot, that means that it's maybe getting beyond the intermediate tyre condition.
So this rain could be with us for a while. Light rain conditions for the foreseeable future. Inters look like the best tyre for now.
Don't have another fresh set of I do actually have another fresh set of inters to go to. That rear left is going to get very hot now. The other rear tyre is hot too. I'm going to have to drive offline where I can to try and cool the tyre. But as you can see, I mean, there's minimal, if any, water left on the track now. So I'm going to be running with hot tyres and a broken wing, trying to keep faster cars behind me to hold on for a top 5 finish here. If both rear tyres get too hot, I'm knackered.
10.7 seconds.
That's only going to get massive now. My rear tyres, I had it. This is because we put more downforce on the car for a wet race. And so far, that's been beneficial for us because they've been slower in the corners because they've got a kind of a mixed setup for dry and wet because of quali. We set up purely for the wet, but now as it's drying out, we've got too much downforce for the conditions and my rear tyres are getting hot. Not great. But it's not yet dry enough to put slick tyres on. So I've just got to deal with hot rear tyres now. Which means wheel spin central.
Use overtake now. Come on, push hard.
both rear tyres are hot now. We're knackered. Unless it goes to slick running, we are knackered. My rear tyres are just going to get hotter and hotter and hotter. And more and more and more accelerated wear. My front left is borderline getting hot now too. It's not slick weather running though. And the hot rear tyres isn't because we have a damaged front wing. It's purely because of the drying track and our extra downforce.
Nice work, you smashed it. Really good job on hitting that target, mate.
Stroll at the minute can't keep up to myself and Piastri, which is good news. But at some point, Piastri's going to get past, and at some point might be now. Trying my best to fight on here with a wounded car and a hot rear axle. But by scrapping, we're only going to bring Lance Stroll and co back into the fight again.
Okay, gap to the car ahead, 12.0 seconds.
Now I'm kind of hoping for slick weather. And then another tyre change. But I don't think we're going to get it. We're just going to be slow and dead by the end of the race. Basically, I can't afford to make any mistakes for the rest of the race. So, I'm going to do barely any talking now. And just purely going to concentrate on trying to bring home this P5. So for the YouTube video, it might not be that entertaining. Unless, of course, Piastri gets me at the first opportunity. But for now, I am very much needing to shut up and concentrate on my driving. I'm worried about a puncture on the rear left, to be honest, by the end of the race.
Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by, 13.4 seconds. Okay, so this light rain is going to be with us for a while now. Inters seem to be the fastest tyre for now. Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. The car behind is dropping back by about 0.3 a lap. Well done. tyre situation's an interesting one, but I think the right call is to stick with what we've got for now. Light rain will stay with us for at least 20 minutes, maybe more. Light rain is here to stay.
I think everyone is struggling with tyre temperature.
Ferrari driver has the lead.
Yeah, we know. I think everyone's struggling with tyre temps because my tyres are so hot that my performance is effectively in the mud. But Piastri's not challenging that much. Stroll's not really catching, and the gap in front isn't massively growing. But you can see my tyre temps here. Way too hot on both rear tyres. Now the front left is hot as well. But the fact we're able to, seemingly at the moment, comfortably keep Piastri behind says to me that they too have tyre temperature issues. So we're all in the same boat. We've gotten ourselves up to P5 from a P13 start. And at the moment, with 8 laps to go, we're still looking good for a P5 finish, provided my rear left tyre, or either rear tyre, doesn't explode before the end of the race, which is a possibility.
Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 13.8 seconds. Verstappen has the lead.
Clear career and Man United to come later today, Daniel. Christ. Oh my god. comes Piastri. Trying it around the outside. Elbows are out. Position held. 5 laps to go. Tyres are monstrously hot now.
Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 0.1 seconds.
I'll show you. Well, that's the situation at the minute with regards temps. And this is the situation with regards wear. Not a fun car to drive right now. But at the moment, still 5th in the race. Sweet Lord Jesus, this is tough. Oh! Bloody hell.
We've got a lot of spare energy, okay to use your overtake button.
Comes Piastri again. Oh, if I keep Piastri to the end of the race in P6, it's an absolute miracle. Still have a gap to Stroll because he and Norris are fighting. Thank you, Lando. We obviously have to thank Lewis Hamilton for his long stint for closing the big gap to the majority of the cars in front back down. Then we have Lando to thank for having a mechanical fault. But you have to make the most of opportunities when they come to you in Formula One. And we have done that thus far with laps 56, 7 and, oh my god, 8 to come. We're 3 laps away from our first top 5 of the season. But it really hangs in the balance. I'm desperately hoping we don't get a puncture at the back between now and the end of the race, because that would kill me.
And gap to the car in front, 0.6 seconds.
Here he comes again. And to use a lot of battery. 2 laps to go. Lando's now only 2 seconds behind as he's... Has he got Stroll behind him? I think he's seen Stroll off. I can't concentrate on anything other than this right now. Focus, Ches, focus. He has seen Stroll off because Alonso retired, didn't he? Stroll has lost a handful of positions. He's behind the RB now. Lando's back in the game. Lap and a half to go. Tyres very worn and on fire at the rear. But holding firm still for now.
The Ferrari drivers out in front.
Charles Leclerc is rounding turn 13, or the old turn 13 now. He's very nearly finished this Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc is going to win by a country mile. Obviously, as we say, was significantly helped by Lewis Hamilton getting in the way of everybody from P2 backwards. Max Verstappen kept him honest for the first stint, but not honest enough as Charles Leclerc sets the fastest lap of the race on his last lap of the race. It's a win for Ferrari. His second win in 3 Grand Prix. He came 4th in the debacle that was Saudi Arabia. 55% wear on the rear left, 104 degrees. Fuel is fine. Here comes Piastri. Here comes Lando. Oh my God. Very nearly 3 wide in there. Need to use all the battery. Please hold on for this, Noid. Sainz P3. Perez about to cross the line for P4. There he goes. And for our best result of the season so far, and really arguably one of our best results of our career considering where we started, it's P13 to P5 for me here in Australia. The tyres hang on. They can now burst if they like. I don't care anymore. Points on the board for Ferrari. Oh my lord, that was tough. That was one of the most difficult Grand Prix I've had in my entire F1 24 career. Driver of the day performance. And rightfully so, I think, given the nature of the Grand Prix and the way things went. We were carrying damage, of course. No front left end plate, but with the extra downforce we'd put in the car, we were able to see it through. Over a minute behind Charles Leclerc.
As we continue to bring you all the excitement
of course,
of Formula One.
It was circumstantial that he was so far ahead of everybody else on this occasion, but Lance Stroll finished 10th in the end. Ollie Behrman and Yuki Tsunoda got past him, both McLarens finishing 6th and 7th. Strong result for Haas here, a 3rd and a 4th. That's going to bring them into contention in the Constructors, but Max Verstappen 2nd and Ollie Behrman 8th is not great for them. McLaren 6th and 7th is not great for them. A 1 and a 5 for us is superb. Lewis in the end with a 2-stop. Okay, I thought we thought it was 1-stopping. He did, in the end, stop again. Was there a reason for that? Did he have damage? No, he just stopped 2 laps from the end. All right, Lewis. Well done, mate. Killed yourself off there, didn't you, pal? Well, not sure what the drivers looks like, not sure what the constructors looks like, but we know that Charles Leclerc is going to be leading the Drivers' Championship. We're very nearly back at 84 rated. Our recognition is growing, 43% now. The more that continues to grow, the closer we will get to some more unlocks for the car. And for the time being, we head now to the 4th round of the championship. Is it China? I didn't realise there was an issue, to be honest.
By focusing on upgrades to our powertrain.
Secret meeting. We have our first secret meeting of the season before the Japanese Grand Prix that is next. Who's the secret meeting going to be with? That's the question. We'll obviously put the more worn parts on the car for practice because we want to make sure that we look after the car as best we can. Standing wise, Charles leads the championship by 8 points from Max Verstappen. We're up to P8 in the championship ourselves now. Level on points with Lance Stroll. We, of course, aim to be better in future rounds of the championship as well. And we have a 16-point lead in the Constructors. We're going well. Japan is hard on tyres, so I would be tempted to run a harder tyre set for the next round of the championship. But it's Aston Martin that are in for the secret meeting. That is not really a car that I'm interested in going to or driving in. I will decline talks with Aston Martin. I'm quite happy with Ferrari right now. It's evidently the best car on track, as Charles Leclerc is showing.
Hey, just a quick one from me.
So,
The team are
pass.
pleased that you've declined that
Good.
meeting. Gold star, brownie points, etc., etc.
I didn't realise the team were going to know about it, to be completely honest.
Else more exciting comes
So,
along.
as we
But
head
let's
towards
focus
Japan,
on
we
our
have the best
currency
car
for
on the
now.
grid.
Okay,
Haas are
mate,
close,
I know we
though.
were expecting some new developments to come through, but I'm afraid to say that some of them have failed quality control.
I mean, it
We're
looked
gonna
like
need
they
to tell the team
passed.
what to redevelop via the R&D screen.
I mean, they definitely passed. Oh, Charles upgraded the brakes without my knowing. It's going to cost me 375, so the brakes are going to be upgraded then. The choice is out of my hands, and we'll head to the Japanese Grand Prix with a harder tyre allocation because it is a difficult track for the soft tyre around Suzuka. Hopefully, it's dry, and we can make the most of that harder tyre allocation here. Please don't be wet again. It can be very wet in Japan at times. It's a fully dry weekend. Huzzah! We love to see exactly that. It's be overcast for qualifying, fully dry for the race. Thank Christ. Join me for that in the next round of the championship, which will come to you very soon. Drop this video a like if you enjoyed. I certainly hope you did. Subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss out on any more of this save, or of course the player career mode, which is coming to you every weekday and will continue to do so for weeks and months to come. That's all from me for today. I'll see you next time. Oh my lord. How did we manage to maintain a P5 there? F1, S3, 3... Australia. Unbelievable, Jeff. No one saw that coming, did they? No one at all. Saudi's been uploaded, so I can delete that. That's been uploaded, and they've been uploaded, so I can delete those. We will be switching to the player career mode in a moment to record the next episode of that save. Player career went live earlier on this afternoon at about 12 o'clock. The season finale of the Manchester United career goes live on the YouTube channel in about 25 minutes' time. So we'll have the opportunity to record episode 1 of season 2 of the managerial mode before the end of the day. We, of course, will be... in fact, I think I can restart the YouTube stream without having to restart the stream, so to speak. If I just change the settings on Restream, I believe it just in general restarts the stream with new settings. I'm going to test that now, obviously, and we'll see what happens. I just need to adjust the thumbnail, which is what we're doing now. I'm just doing that in the background here. I'll show you. Just changing the thumbnail for the Australian Grand Prix thumbnail for the save, which will look like that. We'll call it a driver of the day performance in the rain, which is unlikely. We'll take that all day long. Right, let me switch to FC first, and then we can test and see whether that... Hello? Hello, Rickstar. Hi, mate. Yo. Yo. We're updating the Xbox friends and followers. Alright. Cool story, bro. Right, switch to FC. A newly updated FC, of course. Change the title of the YouTube stream, so player career mode. Change that to say FC25. And let me see if this restarts the YouTube stream. It should do, I believe, judging by my previous experience. So let's call this